Hey everybody, welcome back to the Sketchdom. My name is Jason Sketch. I'm super excited to bring you guys some more Marvel Champions content. Today, we're going to be diving into the new Falcon Hero Pack. Wow, you can't really see that with the glare. Falcon Hero Pack. So, hope you guys are just excited as I am. It should be a good time, and we'll check it out. So, we'll jump on down to the table, see you guys there, and I cannot wait to hear you guys hear my first thoughts, because I'm excited to hear my own first thoughts too. Alright, here we are. We're getting ready to talk about Falcon's Hero Pack. We're going to start off with his wonderful alter ego card. It is a 3 recovery card. Sam Wilson, shield traded, alter ego. Birds of a Feather, action. Discard 1 card from your hand. Search your deck and discard power for a bird card. And add it to your hand. Limit once per round. He has 10 health points and 6 card draw. And he's got some okay colors. The red and black is interesting. The art, though, is pretty neat. On his hero side, it is Falcon, 2/2/2. He's got Aerial and Avenger on the side, so he no longer has the shield trait, which I think is kind of a loss. I think I really do enjoy the characters that have had shield on both sides. Eagle-Eyed, response. After you play an Aerial card, discard the top card of the encounter deck. During the player phase, play with the encounter card face up. Top card of the encounter deck face up. That's cool. That's interesting. He has a hand size of 5, so I think it's a pretty interesting card. I think it makes it interesting to be able to see the top card of the encounter deck, and you can kind of adjust and prepare for things based on what cards you play. I like that it's not a forced response, that it's just a response with that aerial card there too. So Falcon has been one that I was not super stoked about until I saw more cards. I'm not sure how I feel about him yet. I'm gone back and forth. I'm like, yeah, he looks super great, and then back to I don't know if he's just going to fit my playstyle. I wasn't a big fan of the aerial cards with Angel, but we'll just check things out and see how it goes. But let's check out his first bird card. It is Red Wing. Red Wing, whose things I'm covering up with my thumb, is a 2-cost ally. 1/1/2. He's got the Aerial, Avenger, and Bird traits. Exhaust Red Wing, return him to your hand and discard the top card of the encounter deck. Choose to either deal X damage to an enemy or remove X threat from the scheme. X is the number of star and boost icons in the discarded cards boost area. That's pretty cool. You can essentially use him for the whole purpose of coming back to your hand and cycling that top card, especially if you get a top Thunderbolt that's going to guarantee 4 damage or 4 thwart removal. That's actually pretty great. Kind of a balancing of Red Wing back and in over and over again. It's going to be actually seem to be an effective way to play the game. I'm excited to see how that works out, though. I can see Red Wing being a good bounce card. It is a 2-cost card, but I bet he's got some cool. But Soaring Acrobatics might be helpful. There's some other ways to cycle it in where he only costs you 1 or hardly anything. So I guess it's worth checking out. Next we have Birds of Prey. It's his first aerial attack event. Discard. Oh, sorry, not discarding. It's a hero action. Attack. Deal 4 damage to an enemy. You may discard the top card of the encounter deck and deal 1 additional damage to the enemy for each boost icon and star icon in the discarded cards boost area. That's actually pretty cool, especially if you get a nice boost card for a 2 cost. That's essentially you're almost promised 6 to 7 damage if you're playing it on the right. That's right card. It's actually a really good card. So that you know what you're discarding. I like this next art for the next card, which is Bird's Eye View. Another event. It's a thwarting event. Remove 3 threat from the scheme. And essentially does the same thing as the attack event, except now it's functioning for thwarting. That's pretty cool. I think those classic, fit well, make perfect sense. You've satisfied the answer of having your attack event and your thwart event in the hero kit. And it uses the benefit of his whole gimmick, which is kind of neat. His next card is Up, Up, and Away. He's got 2 copies of that. Aerial and Defense is your defense card. After an enemy is given a face-down boost card, look at the top card of the encounter deck. You may swap those cards. Draw 1 card for each printed star or boost in the boost area. Oh, that's cool. Whatever card you swapped it to, you could potentially get some good draws. It may take more damage, but you can get a larger hand size. That's an interesting card. I am curious if I will be more interested in taking that risk-reward feeling with Up, Up, and Away. Because I can see myself simply going, well, he's swinging for 7, but I get to draw 4 cards. I don't know. That is interesting. Next card is Falcon's Flock. Uses 5 bird counters. Resource. Remove 1 bird counter from here. Generate a lightning resource for an aerial card. Limit once per round. So there you go. At least you can get a benefit there to be able to play your Red Wing down with that card. It's going to at least reduce the cost by 1. Making bouncing Red Wing in there actually more feasible. At least 5 more times. Soup Kitchen. This is the card that I keep hearing everybody talk about, so I'm kind of curious if it is a good card. Because everybody seems to be like super stoked to play Soup Kitchen. That was our first flavor text on Falcon's Flock. That one says, have you heard the word? Falcon. Wow, okay. Bird, bird, bird. Bird is the word. All right. So, Soup Kitchen. It is a support. Location. Exhaust Sam Wilson. Alter Ego action. Exhaust Sam Wilson and Soup Kitchen. Heal damage from Sam Wilson equal to his recovery and reduce the cost of the next ally or support played this phase by 2. That's actually pretty neat because then you get a chance to just have more supports and allies come in. I wonder if this card will let you keep Falcon and Alter Ego for an entire game. Can you really play Falcon and Alter Ego for an entire game? In following his parents' examples of service, Sam sets an example for others. Oh, his flavor text is so sweet. Okay. Wow, he's got a lot of upgrades. Holy smokes. His first one is an aerial evacuation. It's a preparation card. When another friendly character would be dealt any amount of damage, discard aerial evacuation. Prevent all that damage and change to alter ego form. If that character is a hero, they also must change to alter ego form. That is pretty cool. That's a wild card. But it is a great card for protection. The only downfall is you're going into alter ego, so you got to be conscious of when you're using that card in a multiplayer game. That is pretty cool. Upgrade. 1 cost upgrade. Aerial Recon, Aerial, and Tactic. Hero action. Exhaust Aerial Recon and deal a player 1 face down encounter card. Place 1 Recon counter here. When a player would be dealt an encounter card, remove 1 Recon counter from here instead. Yeah, I don't know how much I'm going to be using that card. But it is also protecting people from getting encounter cards. So it depends on when you use it and how you want to engage all that. I don't know. That's going to be an interesting card. I don't know how much I'm going to play that card. I'm kind of curious how helpful it is in the long term. Minus just getting on the table so it's out of your way. I'm curious how I would use that. But if I know what card I'm going to get, that is an interesting card. That is very interesting. I'd be kind of curious how that plays out. I have a storm coming through, so if I don't sound super good, I apologize. Alright. Battlefield Awareness. 2 cost upgrade. Aerial skill. Hero interrupt. When Falcon uses a basic power, exhaust battlefield awareness and discard the top card of the encounter deck. Falcon gets +1 for that power for this use of each icon. And then discard a boost area. Okay, cool. A basic power. This could be defense. This could be attack or thwarting. That's really neat. That's really, really neat. Draw the fire. This is 1 per player, so cool. After the villain phase begins, discard, draw their fire. Falcon does not exhaust to defend until the end of the phase. That is a super cool card. That is a super cool card. Especially if you're playing in protection. And you have a lot of good protection things here. Being able to defend all along the way. That is pretty great. I'm going to try that multiplayer and see how well that fits. Talon line. Item. After you resolve Falcon's eagle-eyed ability, discard Talon line and search for each icon in the discard card's boost area. Choose 1. Ready a character you control or stun enemy. Interesting. Interesting. You could almost ready an entire team that way. Or stun some enemies and make it difficult for them to do stuff. And last but not least, we have Vibranium Microwave. Falcon gets +1 defense. Hey, there we go. When Falcon would take any amount of damage, exhaust Vibranium Microwave. Prevent 1 of that damage and deal 1 damage to enemy. Cool. I feel like he's going to be more of a character focused on taking care of the table versus being the main attacker. That's the vibe I'm getting here. But I could be wrong. What do you guys think? Has that worked out well for you? Alright, we've got an Adam Warlock. I'm not going to read that card off. Everybody knows what he does. If you don't know yet, you've received him in an earlier pack. We got a new card, Arrow, which is Lei Ling. 3 costing, 1/1. 3 health points. Aerial and Agents of Atlas. Hero action, exhaust Arrow. Choose a player. Until the end of the phase, each aerial character that player controls gets +1 attack. Okay, so it's like Cloud9 just for attacking. Speaking of Cloud9, here she is. She does it for thwarting. Same concept, just does it for thwarting. Cost the same. All the fun 9 stuff. Huggin' and Moonin'. Sure, I'm saying that and I butchered it really, really badly, but y'all let me know. It's a 1/1 ally, 2 costed with 2 health points. Aerial and Asgard and Bird are its traits. After Hugin and Mugen enter play, search the top 10 cards of the encounter deck for a minion and put it into play. Engage with you. Ready 1 character you control for each icon in that minion's boost area. That's sick. I approve of this message. And you play it with like Thor or something, and that works really, really well. Spectrum I thought was interesting. An Aerial Avenger. Response after you play Spectrum, took 1 card used to pay for her under here. And that card's printed resource has Mental, +2 thwart. Punchy, 2 attack. Lightning, 2 hit points. Star, all of the above. That's cool. I think she's expensive. But being able to come out 3/3/5 is very interesting. I'm interested in how that turns out. And preparing with the right cards may make her a very powerful ally. I think you want to focus on Voltroning her. She's expensive to get out, but Have you guys used her yet? Let me know what you guys think about her. That is a card I just don't know how I feel yet. I'm going to have to chew on that one for a bit. Strength of the Diversity. I thought that was an interesting card too. It's got the Alliance trait. It costs me 2 per player. For each different trait on a friendly character in play, choose. Remove 1 threat from a scheme. Deal 1 damage to an enemy. That's a bunch of ping damage and a bunch of threat removal. But I think that is a super neat card. I think it's going to be great for... It's going to be great. I don't know how good it's going to be in solo, but playing it as a group in the in a big multiplayer game, I think that could be very interesting. Then we have 3 copies of Flight Squadron. Each of your allies, your identity has to be an aerial to play it. It's a team card. If each of your allies has the aerial trait, increase the ally limit by 1, and this card gains response. After you play an aerial card, exhaust this card. Ready an ally you control. Really heavily leaning into the flying build here. I am interested in how that works. The team cards I don't use very often, and this is the first team card that I've seen that is out of aspect. Most of them are basic, so that is interesting. Kind of curious if it would work better in our good friend Angel, but it's a very neat looking card. Then we get 3 copies of Resource Reserve, which is pretty cool. It's a card essentially that's going to let me hold on to resources. Get maximum per player, so I wouldn't run very many in our leadership deck, but I think it's very nice. Exhaust Resource Reserve, tuck 1 resource card from your hand under here, a maximum of 1. So you can essentially save resources cards to be able to draw a larger hand size. Any player may spend the resource card tucked here as if it was from their hand. That is actually pretty cool, because now I can tuck 1 away there and somebody else that might need it at the table can use it. That is so cool. Next is the Triskelion. I think that's the first reprint we've seen of that since the beginning of the game. We've got Captain America upgrade, which is interesting. It's a title. You can only play it if you are Bucky Barnes or Sam Wilson. And exhaust Captain America and spend a fist resource source to find his shield and put it into your hand. If at least played this way, deal 4 damage to an enemy. It doesn't function, it's not an attack, it's just a thing that he does with 4 damage. I think that's pretty great. So there's no retaliate damage from it. Let's look at that shield. Captain America's shield. You get +1 defense and he gains retaliate. And it's linked to this Captain America card, so you can only really get it once you have played that card. So that's really cool. Next we get 3 copies of Wingman, which is really neat. Attached to an aerial ally. Alright, when another aerial ally would take any amount of damage, consequential damage, exhaust attached ally, prevent 1 of that damage. That's actually pretty cool. If you're going to be putting it, you can put it out on like Arrow and Cloud, who basically exhausting to help you get a boost and benefit. There might be some other aerial ones out there. You can probably put it on Hugin and Mugen, but essentially you can use it to kind of keep your Spectrum doing her job. So neat concept. I just don't like the aerial trait as much as some others, so I don't know how much I'm going to use it, but I'm going to have to try it out just to say at least I've tried it. Then you got, of course, 6 resources. You're going to have your basic 3 and the Power of Flight, which got a really cool alt art. I like that new art there. But those are all energies that we're all familiar with, so huzzah! Let's look at some of the back of the pack stuff and then come back to his obligation and Nemesis set. And then, of course, we also got Fixer to look at as well. So, he got 2 new allies. Fixer needs to get out of there. And then a new ops room. So, Winter Soldier is a 3-cost ally. 1 thwart, 2 attack, 3 life points. Response: after Winter Soldier attacks and defeats an enemy, remove 2 threat from the scheme. As long as I'm alive, you'll never fight alone. Winter Soldier. That's a pretty cool card. I like it a lot. I think it's going to be an interesting... He'll fit in like minion slaying builds, and then you just kind of let him sit on the table until he can finish off a minion for you, and hopefully help you get a benefit of clearing out some threat for him. Misty Knight is next. I thought she was interesting in the Falcon pack for the fact that she uses some of the things that Falcon is revealing for you. So, it is a Justice card. Hero for hire. 1 thwart, 1 attack, 3 health points. When Misty Knight thwarts, look at the top 2 cards of the encounter deck and discard 1 of those cards. Misty Knight gets +1 thwart for this thwart for each boost icon or each icon there in the discarded cards boost area. That's pretty cool. I think she gets a benefit in the long term. It can be hit or miss if you can't really see what the top card is, but it probably fits pretty well in this kit here. So I think she's pretty cool. It takes away some of the mystery that comes with her. And she'll be thwarting for quite a bit, which you need some big thwarts sometime when you're playing Justice. Last but not least, we have a new support called Ops Room. There's 3 copies of it. Uses 3 counters. When a friendly character would take any amount of damage while defending, remove 1 alert counter from here. Prevent 1 of that damage and remove 1 threat from a scheme. That is an interesting card. It can prevent consequential damage for some of your allies. This with Rogue. Oh my gosh. So you just keep full trotting that Rogue and that Rogue build that I have and keep using this to heal her and prevent her from getting consequential damage. Then she also is removing threat with this. That's actually a wild card for that. I love this. That is a card that may have to go into my Uncanny Avenger Rogue build. Okay, I'm seeing more of a benefit for this now. That is really cool. And when a friendly character would take any amount of damage. So I can have this on the table and not have any allies out myself. And a friendly character from a teammate take consequential damage. I can pop this and they don't take that consequential damage. That is pretty cool. That is a card that's just getting better and better as I look at it. Very cool. Alright, as I did in Winter Soldier, I'm going to clean all this up and then we're going to look at the villains from this set. Give me a few minutes, I'll jump there. See y'all soon. Alright, here we are. First we have his obligation, which is Harlem's Protector. Which I disagree. That is definitely Luke Cage, but we'll forgive them for now. He's the Sam Wilson player. Uses 3 emergency counters. Victory 0. Alter ego action. Spend 1 resource of any type. Remove 1 emergency counter from here. And as long as it's there, the first player is getting 2 encounter cards. So it's a lot like the Gambit obligation. Interesting. I like the artwork on it, though. I think it's really cool. And I like the way... I like what it does. I think the obligation makes more sense than just exhaust and move on with your life. His Nemesis is Viper. 2 attack, 2 scheme, 5 health points, quick strike. After Viper activates against you, discard the top 5 cards of the encounter deck. Oh crap, so it screws us with the knowledge that you know. That is, that sucks. His side scheme. Serpent Solutions. And he's also milling the deck, which is just, ugh. When you've got problems, you need Serpent Solutions. Viper. After a Serpent Society minion is discarded from the top of the encounter deck, deal that minion to the first player as a face-down encounter card. Discarded from the top of the encounter deck. Oh, wow. Okay. He's got 2 Serpent Soldiers who both have Quick Strike. So that's going to make critical encounters happy. Serpent Society, 3 health points to attack, 1 scheme. Give the activating enemy an additional boost card if you're going to get their draw them as a boost. That is fun. All right. Advertisements. See what they did there. Surge. Great. When revealed, shuffle each Serpent Society minion from the encounter discard pile into the encounter deck. When Viper took over the Serpent Society, he used his experience as an ad man to rebrand the group as Serpent Solutions. Interesting. I'm curious with some of these statements that they've got going on here. Are we going to get more Serpent Society minions in the future? And if so, will it impact this Nemesis set? I guess I'll have to wait and find out. All right, let's talk about Fixer, the Thunderbolt. Fixer, Elite, Genius, Thunderbolt, 15 health points. 2 scheme, 1 attack. Force Interrupt. When a non-scenario-specific tech attachment would be attached to the villain, attach it to Fixer instead. Text on the card that refers to the villain refers to the Fixer instead. Jeez, so he can start stacking up a bunch of stuff on him and then he just becomes a problem. Jetpack is one of his things that you get attached to him. It's an attachment. Tech. Attach a Fixer, otherwise attached to the villain. Attached enemy gains aerial. Good. Force Interrupt. When an attached character would take 3 or more damage, prevent all of that damage and discard Jetpack. Oh, good. It's kind of like Handspring. You're annoying. All right. Tech Pack. Another thing for him to attach. Attach the Fixer, otherwise attached to the villain. Attached enemy gets +1 attack for each other tech attachment it has. Good night. So if he gets a ton on him, you're screwed when this comes out. Exhaust any number of characters you control with a combined thwart greater than attached enemy's scheme. Discard this card. Golly. So you have to have at least 3. That's possible, just annoying. Technological innovation. I like the art on this. This is pretty cool. I'll turn their technology against them, Fixer. When revealed, search the encounter deck and discard pile for a ticket attachment and reveal it. Place 1 additional threat here for each tech card in play. This is going to be at least 5 threat in the right scenario. And last but not least, we have 2 copies of the Treachery called Techno. When revealed, find Fixer and reveal him. He's already in play. He engages you. Fixer activates against you. If no enemy activated this way, this card gains Surge. Oh, okay. And then this activation, the attack game piercing, so it would go right through my tough statuses. Wow. All right. What another fun set. I'm less excited about this one as I am Winter Soldier. But I think Falcon has a lot of potential. I know a lot of people seem very excited about Falcon. I'm seeing some good positive reviews. The more and more people are playing Falcon, the more and more positive things we're hearing. And a Falcon, from my at least specific side of YouTube, I'm seeing Falcon jump up quite a bit in videos recently. So he can't be a bad character. I'm interested to see what happens and how he's played. And I'm as interested in trying him out as well. I think he's got some cool potential, and this idea of him being able to be good in multiplayer and taking care of the table, that's the kind of character I do enjoy playing. So we'll just see how it all works out. But I would love to hear y'all's thoughts, and if y'all think he's a awesome character, great in solo or great in multiplayer, or how you like to play him. I'm looking forward to trying him out for you guys. Looking forward to just getting a chance to play him. I love getting new cards and doing some new things. So, but it is late for me, so I'm going to get ready to head to bed. Leave your thoughts in the comment section below. My name is Jason Sketch. And as always, next time I'll be deadly serious next time. Peace.